Imagine feeling meh, but on steroids. Whenever you're feeling crappy, you only really have two options. You can either keep doing what you're doing, which will probably result in you continuing to feel like crap, or you can try to make a change and try to pick yourself back up. The latter option is definitely not easy, because if you're feeling down, you probably have zero motivation. You're probably sad and stressed out on top of that, all of which can make you feel like staying exactly where you're at. However, staying exactly where you're at when you feel extremely down is not going to benefit you in any kind of way. So with that being said, here are a few simple ways to improve your mood when you're feeling extremely down. The first thing, do what you love even when you're not in the mood. Don't wait for your crappy state of mind to leave on its own. Instead, do what you genuinely love despite not feeling like it. This can feel incredibly hard at first because you might even feel an indifference towards the things that you genuinely love. You might even look at your favorite food and think, I don't care for it. Or you might even look at your favorite hobby and think, I don't want to do it. But by doing what you love in the midst of feeling down, you're reminding yourself, you're reminding your body, and you're reminding your brain that you have something that makes you happy and you have something that brings you joy. So start small. For example, listen to a song that makes you feel very relaxed, or listen to a podcast that inspires you, or maybe even make your favorite comfort food. My typical go-tos when I'm feeling really down is baking. I love baking banana bread when I feel down. I don't know what it is about banana bread, but it always makes me feel really good. And reading a good thriller. Remember that whatever you do does not have to be drastic by any means. It doesn't have to be this big thing. It's the little things that make a world of difference. Essentially, the point is to intentionally do things that make you happy in order to improve your mood. Psychologists have a term for this, and it's called behavioral activation. And it's essentially like fake it till you make it. This particular method works really, really well because your brain affects your behavior, but your behavior also has the power to affect your brain. So by doing the things that you genuinely enjoy, you end up feeding your brain these positive emotions that are connected to the activities that you typically do when you're happy. The second thing is revel in the small pleasures of your daily life. I want you to be really honest with yourself. Do you ever overlook the small pleasures in your life? When you're in a crappy mood, you often discount small moments of joy. You write them off as these little things, or you say things like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so didn't actually make me happy, so it was just a waste of my time. Instead of having that kind of mindset, learn to revel in those small daily pleasures. For example, pay attention to how your home smells after you make your morning cup of coffee. Listen intently to the words of your favorite song. Savor that first bite of breakfast. Essentially, zoom in on all of your senses and learn to revel in those small daily pleasures of your life instead of getting distracted by social media, by your bad mood, by your negative mindset. The third thing is to talk to somebody that you actually trust when you're feeling down. I don't know about you guys, but I've always been the kind of person who, when I don't feel good, I don't want to talk about it to anybody. I will typically retreat back into my little turtle shell and avoid everybody. However, the few times that I actually did end up opening up to my partner or to my mom or to a friend, I would feel a change almost instantly. I used to believe that talking to somebody about my problems or about my feelings was a huge sign of weakness, and I just didn't really want my partner or my family or anybody to see that I was struggling with something. But in reality, talking to somebody when you're feeling down is essentially taking charge of your well-being. Remember, letting people in is not a sign of weakness, it's actually a strength. And in addition to that, talking to somebody can make you feel significantly less alone. The next thing that I want you to do when you're feeling down is get yourself outside of the house. You don't realize how much a change in scenery can uplift your mood until you actually get outside and change your scenery. Take yourself out to lunch, go get a coffee, go take a walk, listen to a podcast outside, whatever it might be. There are many studies that have been done that say that Getting outside, getting into nature can positively impact your mental health. And research even shows a link between exposure to nature and stress reduction. You don't need to interrupt your day with like a 2-hour hike or something crazy like that, but going for a walk during your lunch break, going and picking up a coffee, as mentioned before, can have incredibly powerful benefits towards you, especially when you're not feeling good. So to reiterate, if you are feeling down, here are the things that you should do. 1, do what you love before you even feel like it. Even if it doesn't seem like that much, the more that you do it, the better you're gonna feel. 2, choose to revel in the small pleasures of daily life. Pay attention to how your coffee tastes. Pay attention to the sun hitting your face in the morning. Pay attention to the birds chirping in the morning. Number 3, talk to someone you trust. Talking to somebody when you're not feeling good is a great way to connect. It's such a good way to get outside of your head, and overall, it's a great way to feel supported. And the last thing is get yourself outside. Change your environment. Walk to a coffee shop, say hi to a dog. Just get yourself outside of the house.